Coming up on this week's programme. Rajan is in Jordan's capital, Amman, getting a flavour of what the city has to offer.
So good.
In China, we go underground.
Forest bathing is to feel nature.
And I'm off forest bathing here in Japan.
So go slow and take it all in.
That's the point.
When you think of Jordan, bucket list items usually include Petra, floating in the Dead Sea, or going into the desert. But how about veering off the beaten track into Amman? Over the years, it's become a magnet city, attracting people from its neighbouring regions to create a unique Arabic culture, as Rajan went to explore.
It may have once enjoyed a heyday, particularly as a Roman city, but in more recent times, safe to say, Amman has not been amongst Jordan's most glittering jewels. By the 1940s, its population had dwindled. But an influx of Palestinians, then Iraqis and Syrians over the past few decades has seen it take new shape. Now the capital's population stands at 4 million, a third of whom are migrants and refugees. And with that rapid rise in Amman's population, a new contemporary and cosmopolitan atmosphere is developing here, which is very much at odds with the traditional understated image of the city. And that cultural hot pot of diverse people is expressed through cuisine.
So today we're making it with cauliflower and eggplants because they're in season.
Maria Haddad runs cookery classes which recognise the variety of Arab influences in the food.
This goes here in the pot.
She wastes no time in putting me to work with a farmer's dish called malouba.
Arabic food in general is Arabic food. There's no such thing as Syrian, Lebanese. I love that you're agreeing with me. Yes! Malouba is an Arabic dish.
Okay.
It's not a Jordanian
Sure.
or Palestinian. Everybody, can you just taste this? Such a pretty color. That's the beauty of Amman. You know, you have people who are half Lebanese, half Syrian, half Jordanian. People who are half, and there's always halves, you know. I'm a combination of Lebanese, Jordanian, and Palestinian. And this was obviously an influence from all the refugees that came in a long time ago. Malouba literally translated means flipped upside down. And remove it very slowly. Perfect. All right.
This looks fantastic, by the way, Maria. That's great. Can't believe that we made this. Well, you made this, really.
So good.
Maria herself has roots in Jordan, Palestine and Lebanon. She restored this family home and calls this cook and dine experience Beit City. That means grandmother's house.
When we were very young, we used to come here and we used to learn how to cook Arabic food from my grandmother. But really what we do here is a social business. So when my grandmother passed away, we decided we wanted to keep her house open and her memory going and to teach guests the dishes that she used to teach us.
Maria feels Amman is going through a renaissance.
The parents sort of were too busy and they felt like Amman wasn't really worth investing in. But now the younger generation is really putting their foot down and saying, it's time to come to Amman, you know, and stay here.
Maria feels this cultural revolution is driven in part by successive waves of refugees. Her house is in the Jabal al-Webday district, where the community includes breakdancers and graffiti artists, giving it a surprisingly street-arty vibe. And then there's this. The Seven Hills Skate Park. That is astonishing. That's a girl who's never even touched a skateboard before today. And girls from all backgrounds here experiencing that. Brilliant. Many of these kids are refugees practicing on borrowed skateboards, and the classes are run by an NGO called Make Life Skate Life. I think I might just give this a miss. It's all run by Mo Zakaria, Jordan's first prominent skateboarder.
There was no space for us as a skateboarding community in Amman to have, like a skate park for ourselves. So we always had to go like in street spots and be in trouble with the security guards and stuff like that.
The skate park sits in a disused sprawl of scrubland.
There's a huge problem with public spaces. All the spaces that we have are either residential or private. And so if you don't have any money, all the kids are going to end up on the street, and then this is where problems start. And the big vision is, renovating public space in Amman.
This is the future of your country now.
I really think it is. I think Amman has never been a place of a single nationality, let's say. Amman is becoming the New York of the Middle East.
Amman is becoming the New York of the Middle East. That's impressive.
It's a nice time to be in Amman.
That idea of Amman will certainly challenge a few preconceptions, and so will my next and final stop, because 20 kilometres northwest of Amman is Fuhays, home to Jordan's first and only microbrewery.
Right here, this is our packaging line and bottle storage.
Jordan, yep, that is his first name, the chief brewer here, told me how they started from scratch 4 years ago.
In Jordan, there's like no infrastructure, there's no culture, there's absolutely nothing related to beer making. So everything in the factory had to come from outside of the country.
And it's not just the equipment, which comes mainly from China, Italy and Germany, but the ingredients too.
This is what's called Pilsner malts.
Yeah.
So you can see from the light color, it's not been roasted very much. So this actually makes up the base of all of our beers.
But what's quintessential about the beer are the distinctive Jordanian flavours from local produce, like date molasses, grapefruit from the Jordan River Valley, and even sea salt from the Dead Sea.
Honestly, every step of the way, putting this brewery together, selling the beer, making the beer, it's been an exercise in educating the authorities as to what craft beer is.
Let's not forget that 85% of Jordan's population is Muslim, and therefore in principle largely teetotal. The company are banking on export sales to compensate for the limited market that they have in Jordan, and this particular brew, Dead Serious, is their next big hope. And I am going to get a preview.
Oh, a real tank to eat, and you can taste the salt and you can taste the grapefruit juice. Really unique flavour, excellent. And you know what? It's craft beers like this that are going to help create new aspects to this city, and also, I think, break the stereotypes that people might have of both Jordan and the Middle East.
Rajan reporting there from Amman. And if you're thinking of heading to Jordan anytime soon, here's some travel show tips to help you on your way. First off, it's important to be culturally sensitive and dress accordingly. Jordan is primarily a Muslim country, and if you are travelling off the beaten tourist track, you will need to dress accordingly. For men, the key thing to note is that shorts in certain religious places are discouraged. When it comes to foreign female visitors, the general advice is not to show too much skin. Strangely enough, it doesn't matter how fitting the outfit is, but bare shoulders, short skirts and cleavage are a real faux pas. Foreign women do not have to wear a veil to hide their hair unless visiting a mosque. A traditional and very authentic way to explore this gem in the Middle East is to embark on a homestay experience. Baraka Destinations is one organisation that arranges community-owned travel experiences. You can stay in a local's home and set off on a season-specific activity such as beekeeping or foraging in the Jordanian hills. Another environmentally sustainable project, but something at the other end of the spectrum, is the newly built resort of Isla. Situated along the beautiful coast of Aqaba, Isla is a diverse development complex with Jordan's one and only golf course designed by golfing legend Greg Norman.
Well, stay with us here on the Travel Show because coming up after the break,
I'll be heading out of busy Tokyo for a spot of forest bathing.
so don't go away. Well, next up, we're off to China, a country that's becoming just as well known for its skyscrapers as much as it is for its temples and terracotta warriors. But not everybody there is keen on high-rise living. In fact, some people would prefer to stay firmly underground.
所以说，地坑园里头啊，非常接地气。哎，它因为你在城市啊住高楼大厦都是几十层啊，你住在天空了。 你这个人是土做的，你不在土打交道，你容易带怪病。我叫于世昂，今年65岁，专门研究地坑园的一个专家。地坑园已经有4000多年历史。我们原来的老祖先，他是住是天然的洞穴，披风挡雨。最后我们老祖先以他们聪明的智慧和结晶，创造了地坑园。
我今年83，叫曹秀芝，走小女儿生下就是地坑园，家了这大还是地坑园，我这都是地坑园，这大都难下令，也不想办，踩着大自由，踩着大自由，你想怎么，你上前搞出地方小，且不习惯，地下花年就不好，走不害怕不来过，哦。
现在的年轻人，向往的是高楼大厦啊，电灯电话这个高楼大厦，住的高楼大厦，出门有汽车，他们向往是这年轻人这个向往这个理想是对着的，所以说你说这个地坑园啊，就面临着这个灭绝。 我住这个地坑园住了65年，我对这个地坑园有感情，这个综合就是做人有事，朋友对地坑园的总结，它有几大好处。你看你现在看我这个园，我这个园1300多年，现在我这个园多好啊！我估计我这个园，你只要是经常住人，好好管理它，我这个园你有300年、500年，它是塌不掉的。
Well, from the rural tranquility of China to the urban madness of Tokyo, and you're joining me here at the Shibuya Crossing in Japan, one of the most urban societies in the world. And in recent years, Tokyo has become known as the biggest city on the planet. But believe it or not, in amongst all this hustle and bustle, people here are finding ways to reconnect with nature. And for travelers, taking part in this could be a distinctly Japanese way to experience culture and the countryside.
More than 38 million people cram into the streets and public transport system here, making Tokyo the largest city in the world. According to the UN, just over half of the world's population lives in urban areas. But in Japan, it's a whopping 92%. So how do Tokyoites and tourists de-stress and decompress? To try and tap into my inner calm, I'm hitting the road and heading to Okutama, a couple of hours' drive from the center of Tokyo, to indulge in a spot of forest bathing, or what the Japanese call Shinrin-yoku. It's basically about drawing on the therapeutic benefits of being in nature.
In Tokyo?
Yes.
Tokyo area?
Leaving on tour, I follow my guide, Masuzawa-san.
You are spending a very stressful life.
Wow.
Who knew so much nature could be found in Tokyo?
I know,
this is
right?
Okutama, Tokyo.
This is still part of Tokyo.
Yes.
You would never guess.
I want you to taste one plant. Just one leaf. It helps your digestion.
You can eat this?
Yes.
It's awful. It's awful.
Awful. How awful?
So bitter. It's really,
Oh,
really...
bitter, yeah. Good medicine tastes bitter. These leaves are dried for medicine for stomach.
It's really, really bitter.
And soft.
Forest bathing tours like this are becoming hugely popular with stressed-out Japanese office workers. The Forest Therapy Society has certified 62 forest therapy sites across Japan.
This
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Masuzawa-san's tour includes meditation and deep breathing exercises.
So, okay, let's practice breathing methods. Inhale from nose and exhale mouth.
So this is just like hiking, isn't it?
No, it's not hiking. It's completely different. So, forest bathing is to feel nature. If you walk first, you can't feel anything from nature. So, observing everything, forest, plants, and listening the sounds of brook and birds, and smelling.
Oh. So go slow and take it all in.
Yeah.
The forest bathing movement is gathering momentum around the world as a hot new wellness trend. Clinical studies show it can reduce blood pressure, stress levels, as well as diabetes.
Shinrin-yoku is effective in preventive medicine. 心理浴するとストレスホルモンが減ります。そしてリラックスします。It's very effective for anti-aging.
Anti-aging?
Sure.
Oh, really?
So, what do you think? How old am I?
How old are you? Oh, dear.
This is tricky. I don't want to offend.
40, 45?
Oh. No, I'm 62
What?
years old.
You're 62?
Years.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so I should go home, throw away all my creams, and just come back.
Yeah.
At the top of the mountain, some of the forest bathing tours include yoga, or you can take a more relaxed approach.
I must admit, I was a bit reluctant to lie down in the first place. Now that I have, I don't think I want to get up.
But for those who can't escape the city, there are other ways to experience nature right here in Tokyo. in a uniquely Japanese way.
My goodness, this is spectacular.
Yes.
With technology. The newly opened Digital Art Museum is exploring a new relationship between humans and nature through art.
So what happens if I touch the wall here?
So if you put the hand on the wall, it's like a natural waterfall. The waterfall changes their movement.
And these flowers, look, if I touch them, what would happen?
So if you touch the flowers, flower will be gradually falling down.
If I came here on a different day with different people, this installation would look different, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now we are only 2 people here, but if we have many people, the movement more complex. So every time you come here, the scenery will be different.
I love the fact that you're encouraged to interact with the installations here, the animals and the nature, that you could actually touch things. You know, living here in Japan, there's so many rules and things that you can and can't do. But here I felt free. It was really refreshing.
Well, from the virtual to the real, people here are pretty open-minded when it comes to the pursuit of inner peace and calm.
It's been so relaxing here. I'm really not quite ready to go back to the city just yet. But that's all we've got time for this week. Coming up next week.
Check this out. Every little boy's dream.
We sent Rajan into the desert on the trail of Lawrence of Arabia, 100 years on from the Arab Revolt.
It's a bit worrying. It's like they're ready for some sort of attack. Whoa! I'm in the middle of a battle. Whoa! Oh! What the hell? Hands up. You're not going to take me, are you? We're going to have a cup of tea?
Well, I hope you can join us for that if you can. And don't forget, we're on social media too, so why don't you follow us there, and then you can share your travel stories with the rest of the world. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Okutama, it's goodbye.